Hello, everybody. This is my lunch live for the day. We just finished Lori Vallow Daybell's pre-trial hearing, the pre-trial for the trial where she is charged with conspiracy to commit murder, the murder of Brandon Boudreaux, attempted murder. He survived, and will be testifying at the trial. But for those of you that were watching on our live stream, Lori, the mask has come off, and Lori showed her true Darrell Brooks self today. Lori Unhinged. What was not on the schedule today in my early morning pre-hearing live that I did, what I wasn't expecting was a motion for Lori to recuse Judge Boreski from this case. That was, I did not see that coming. That was a curveball today, a plot twist, whatever you want to call it. Lori Vallow Daybell telling Judge Boreski that he ought to maybe recuse himself and from this because of his clear bias against her. You know, in all of my reporting, I have always said that Judge Boreski is actually, in my opinion, fairly level-headed when it comes to refereeing her case, and has actually shown her a lot of leeway, when she doesn't understand the legalities and case law and maybe just law in general. When it comes to this case, he's always giving her leeway and leniency, and for Lori to say that today, and Judge Boreski's response, "Are you done?" I think we need some merch. Are you done? I'm going to be adopting that one, Judge Boreski. Thank you. So I actually, I agree, one man's trash, that I feel like the judge has actually helped Lori several times. And today with relevancy, just like him saying, I need relevancy. You can have a server. Someone could have served Brandon Boudreaux, and that doesn't mean that witness has relevancy. Give me something, Lori. Can you give me something? And when she couldn't give him anything as far as relevancy goes, he said, well, I'll still put Melanie Gibb and Zulema Pastenes on the jury questionnaire because it sounds like you really want them to be witnesses. I see no relevancy, but I'm still going to do that for you. So anyway, I'm going to have a full recap of everything that went down later tonight. And I am doing my lunch live today at the airport, clearly. Forgive the noise. I forgot my cool phone mic. I remembered everything else. I've got 3 backpacks full of podcasting supplies, but we forgot the phone microphone. So I am here at the airport, but I am going right now, just for everyone who's saying, why don't I cover another case? Okay, thank you. I am not going home right now. So I flew from home to Phoenix this morning, and now we are flying to Boise, Idaho. There's a pretrial hearing for Brian Kohberger tomorrow morning in Ada County, and I plan to be there to report on all of that too. So hit subscribe, as I always say, and hit notifications, because I will be doing Lori Vallow's recap tonight from Boise, Idaho. So we're just making our rounds today. But Lori Vallow Daybell, I call it, today she was full MFYT, made for YouTube. That was something else. And like I said, do not miss our recap tonight. So what I'm going to be doing on the plane is we're going to be prepping for tonight's Lori Vallow Daybell pretrial recap. And then, of course, tomorrow I'll have all things Brian Kohberger for you. So, anyway, yes, Deborah, can somebody give me a case in Hawaii? I'm there. No, anyway, one thing we learned that was interesting that we didn't know before from this pretrial hearing today is I did not know that at one point Judge Boreski explained to Lori she really doesn't want to wear that rack belt. She really doesn't want to wear that rack belt. So today, again, Lori was saying, look, I don't want to wear this. And Judge Boreski then explained, look, we did have an issue when you had a strap hanging down, and we excused you at one point with the jury, and we excused you and we fixed it. And the jury never saw your rack belt. That was a moment that I was in court every day for the Charles Vallow murder trial, and I never saw that happen, and I didn't know that that happened, where they actually excused Lori for a time during the trial to fix a strap that was perhaps hanging out of the back that had to do with her rack belt. And then the judge said, I don't believe that no juror said that they ever knew that you were wearing it. And Lori tried to argue and said, well, we didn't ask them. I will say Hidden True Crime asked the jurors that we interviewed, and none of them knew that Lori Vallow Daybell was wearing a rack belt. Particularly, I think of Victoria. I said, did you know that she was wearing that? She absolutely did not know that she was wearing a rack belt. So we did ask the jury for you, Lori, and they did not know, at least the ones we spoke to, the jurors, that you were wearing that rack belt. Yeah. I mean, I'll also say this. When she brought up that she wanted to call as defense witnesses Melanie Gibb and Zulema Pastenes, both of her ex-best friends, not to mention sister-in-law. Zulema Pastenes technically is her sister-in-law, married Alex, was married to him when Alex died. I was like, please find some relevancy, Lori. Lori, can you find some relevancy so that you can actually get Melanie Gibb and Zulema Pastenes on the stand? It was like the only time I was rooting for Lori, when Judge Boreski's like, you got to show me relevancy, and she just was not bringing relevancy to the table. I wanted to be like, Lori, give them something. This is not that hard. Say something that gives them relevancy. I can think of a slew of things. 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to give away your defense strategy. Just give the judge something. I support this. Please call Gibb. Please call Zulema Pastenes. Let's do this. Nothing. One person she didn't call was Melanie Palowski, her niece, Brandon Boudreaux's ex-wife. That was interesting. The state is also not calling her, but neither is her Aunt Lori. Seems like she could help. Seems like she might have some relevancy. Many people ask about why she was never charged, wanting an explanation. I can't give you that. I don't know why she was or wasn't. We don't know what evidence the police have or don't have. I don't know if she should or shouldn't be charged. But she's certainly relevant to this case, and she is not being called as witness by anyone. Yeah, Lori is a law unto herself. So anyway, I was rooting for Lori during that moment. I was like, Lori, come on, like, work with me. Just a little bit of relevancy, just a teeny tiny bit of relevancy. That's all you need. She couldn't do it. She could not do it. And so Judge Boreski, who was giving her multiple chances too, like, let me explain what relevancy is to you, Lori. So relevancy would be beyond someone that served them dinner at a restaurant. So, you know, and then she was like, well, is this the law? Well, yes, it is. It's the law. Did not make her happy. Then she decided to rebuke him. Pretty much is what I saw there. I mean, she was like, are you gonna, recuse yourself? I wanted her to stand up and say something spiritual, like, I rebuke you and my angels from heaven say. I mean, I think that's what she really wanted to say. But, she was trying to use, her legalese to make it sound official due to bias that he makes her follow the law. Sucks when you don't want to follow the law. Just get rid of the judge, right? When people don't want to follow law, they just want to get rid of the judge because they're checks and balances. So, makes sense. Very psychopathic thing to do. Anyway, I am going to go jump on this flight. Do not miss my recap today, because as I fly to Boise, we're going to be working on it, and we need more than this sort of mental decompression after that. That was something else. And then here's the question I really want to know. Is the mask off? Is this Lori saying, I don't give a crap anymore. Like I have finally nothing to lose. Is this Lori finally saying, you know what? I have nothing to lose. I'm just gonna be myself. Let's do this. Taking the gloves off. Or is Lori being this way because the jury's not in the room, and once there is a jury that's seated, she's going to go back to her more demure, proper, masked self again. I'm going to be honest, it is what it is. I found today's Lori quite interesting, and I hope she shows the world who she is. So I hope we see more of this Daryl Brooks-esque show in court throughout Brandon's trial, because I do. I want the world to see who she really is. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in comments. Do you think that she's going to stay this way throughout Brandon's trial? Like, she's just like, I'm done. This is it. Like, recruit. I keep saying recruit. I don't know why I can't speak today. Recuse yourself, Judge. That was good. So is she going to be that Lori, or is she going to be passive, sweet, I'm kind Lori? You know, gloves are off. Yeah, of course, right. In order to be this type of Lori throughout the trial, she's going to have to come back to reality a little bit and realize there's no point in fighting. And I don't know. I hope she does stay this way. She's got nothing to lose. All right. I'm going to go grab some lunch and a water. Stay hydrated with all this traveling. And I will see you guys on the other end of this flight. I'll be in Boise, Idaho. And like I said, we'll be going live with a full recap, which we'll then also put on our podcast later tonight. There's a couple other cases Hidden True Crime is also working on. I will be honest, the next case that we are working on, I'll say it, I did put the full backstory on our podcast this morning. We are going to post the full video of this backstory later in the week, but that consists of more editing, but I have the audio already up. It's a tragic case, and we want justice for this victim. So that's something else we're working on. And there's a lot more coming. So anyway, thank you to Lori today for showing the world who she really is. And thank you to Judge Boreski for asking her if she's done, because frankly, we've been asking that for 6 years. Are you done yet, Lori? Are you done? Not quite. She's still there, still punching, but hopefully she'll be done soon. Justice for Brandon. All right, we'll see you guys. Bye-bye.